Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Vicki Howie of ChakraBoosters.com, the creator of Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos. And today I'm coming to you from beautiful Sedona, Arizona, from my home with your energy forecast for February 2019. So let me know if you like these energy forecasts, because I'm considering beginning to do them for every single month. So if you like it, share it with your friends, because if there's a response, I'll keep doing them. I just always want to make sure that there's a desire from you guys. They do take time and I'm happy to do it, but let me know if it's something you want me to keep doing. So if you saw my video for the energy forecast for 2019, you know that this is a universal 3-year, and that after all the work we've done sifting through our stuff, especially over the last 3-year cycle, but the whole 7-year cycle, but especially the 3-year cycle where we were really going deep in our stuff, you knew that 2019 was going to be one of those years of solar plexus energy where we hit the ground running. And boy, did we ever. The Capricorn energy at the beginning of the month, we had the new moon that was interesting on the 5th, and it did bring some energy, but I also found that the traditionalist in that sign brought in energy of, there was a lot of, oh, you haven't quite finished this last little bit from 2018. And so I saw myself and friends and clients, we were working with finishing up some of the biggest things from the previous 3-year cycle that were still getting in our face just a little bit, to say, okay, let's get this out of the way, let's complete this. So if you felt that, you weren't alone. And if you felt a huge infusion of energy after the full moon, the blood wolf moon eclipse of the 21st of January, where it was in Leo, in fire. If you felt after that, which many people did, if you were having trouble over the last, like a week, depending on when you're watching this video, over that last week of January, last 10 days of January, after the 21st, if you felt like, I can't sleep, that was happening for a lot of people too. And interestingly, people were either I can't sleep, or a few people I was observing were in this energy of just, I can't do anything but sleep. So it was like this real polarity. But there was more of the energy of waking up. And the important thing to point out is how visceral it was. We had solar flares, pretty significant solar flares after the full moon eclipse. And the combination together and the eclipse having been in Leo was a kickstart of that fire energy. And not just the fire energy, but the lion fire energy, like the king of the solar plexus. So there was this, okay, get up and act, let's go, let's do it. And my news for you is that energy continues on and even has a slight little burst at the beginning of February, especially the first few days, where that solar burst is just going to come again. It might not come quite as strong as it did when we had that like reboot for the full moon, the Leo full moon eclipse on the 21st of January, but it is going to be a nice little kick, a new kick of going forward. So what do we do with this? This is the most important thing, not just what's going to happen, but what do we do with it energetically? So I want you to be aware. I was getting different images from my guides, and I want you to be aware that solar plexus energy is very powerful, very potent. It tends to wake us up again when people are having trouble sleeping. You want to make sure you are maybe even just eating tryptophan and doing enough exercise to get that energy out of your system and be able to sleep at night, but that you're also utilizing this energy in the daytime to take productive action. Because the symbol that my guide showed me was that some of us are spinning our wheels, so they showed me like a car in neutral and a foot on the gas pedal. This is not what you want to do with the solar plexus energy, because that's what will keep you up at night. Okay, but if you're real productive with it during the day, you'll sleep better, and you'll also literally, your mind will turn off more. So solar plexus energy can feel very confrontational, agitated, impatient. So I want you to be aware, because this energy is not just energy where we're talking about energy. We're talking about embodied. It's moving into bodies, and this is happening more and more. We're in the moving further into the end of the Mayan calendar was in 2012. We're moving in now deeper and deeper into the divine feminine, which means our lesson is embodiment. We're no longer doing energy work where we're dealing with it just in the energy realm, but we're literally changing our DNA, our cells. We're upgrading our body. We're bringing heaven onto earth. We're bringing heaven into our bodies because our bodies are a representation of earth. So to recap, you had really strong solar energy. You have strong solar energy for the year. So let's keep that in mind. This is going to keep up. So don't think of it as a sprint that you want to get over, but rather a bit of a marathon that you're going to feel like you want to bring all yourself to it. And this fire energy is going to want you to move forward toward a goal. But at the same time, it's a longer race than you realize. So don't sprint and lose the energy. Additionally, emotionally, don't sprint, which means watch out for the quick offloads of irritation, anger, that kind of energy, blah, that sort of energy, okay? Instead, breathe into it, really breathe into it, and give it a focus. Now, you might say to me, well, but I don't have that focus. I don't know where I want to put my energy, my action right now, and I am feeling this solar plexus infusion of the year. If that's happening for you, here's my advice. The worst thing you can do is stay undecided or not take action. Again, back to that image of the car in neutral, just spinning. And I once saw someone do this and just literally create like a carving out of the cement because it burned the rubber on the tire even. I won't go into that whole story, but I've seen that happen. So you don't want to be spinning your wheels, as it were, in place. Pick, if you have door A, B, and C, pick one. Even if you have 10 doors, pick one. Because solar plexus energy responds to action. Don't make long-term decisions or sign any long-term deals, but make short, actionable decisions, because solar plexus energy is good at course correcting and it has momentum. When it gets moving, it can move elsewhere. But when it's not moving, it feels agitated. It feels irritated. It can even feel angry. It can be blaming. It's an energy that needs to be expressed through the body moving forward. So my first piece of advice is, if you've got choices, doesn't really even matter which one you pick, but pick one, decisively take action toward it, and then you can course correct, okay? And that is very, very important. That will get your energy moving. My second piece of advice is what I was saying earlier, which is to make sure you're getting enough sleep, and also make sure you're also getting the right kinds of foods, maybe chamomile tea, maybe more tryptophan, maybe even a little bit of melatonin to help you sleep if you're feeling that this energy is keeping you up, because literally it's happening on a physical level. It isn't just in your mind. But if your mind's keeping you up as well too, then you're going to want to make sure that you do some kind of meditative activity, a meditation, a guided visualization, perhaps before you go to bed. And I have many on this channel, and the last one that I put out a few weeks ago, it's got balloons on the cover picture of it. That one is actually very relaxing, and it will help to align and energize your chakras for this solar plexus energy during the day, but it will relax you as you're doing it. So that's a really good feeling. So I recommend doing that meditation or another meditation. Finally, find activities like martial arts or punching bag or whatever you can do that can get that energy out, that solar plexus. You could literally do, I have a solar plexus exercise on my channel, I'll put the link below, where you could literally just do this movement with breath of fire, and it will just be really good match for the solar energy that we're feeling. Now, there is a little bit of relief because as we move farther into the month, it gets a little easier. But the new moon also is going to give you some auspicious new age Aquarian energy on the 4th of February. So on the 4th of February at 1:03 p.m. Pacific, so add hours wherever you are in the world, that's Pacific, we're going to have a window of opportunity where we have a new moon, and that is the best time to set intentions. And it's really cool because even though we've got all this really active, fiery, physical energy that's coming out right, especially on the 1st and 2nd of the month, right at the beginning, we now on the 4th have this infusion of insight, Aquarian insight, insight about how we can make our systems better, insight in how you can bring your gifts to the world. How can we as a collective move into the age of Aquarius? And this is in this Aquarian new moon. It's also during Aquarius sun. So there's an alignment of the sun and the moon. And the sun is again the solar plexus where we're taking action. So the download that you get on the 4th, particularly if you take some time to meditate at that 1:03 p.m. Pacific, I recommend that you take one part of it, the first simplest part of it, and make it an action. Act on it. That will be so, so important because of the sun-moon alignment, because of, that's just about what's being called for, because my guides keep showing me that we don't want to be in the car in neutral. We want to be in a gear. So choose a gear, and the inspiration that you get on the 4th will be great. So on the 4th or anytime right around then, as you're getting this New Age Aquarian information from the divine, you want to make a plan to take action on it as best you can. So think of the first half of the month about learning how to navigate this embodied solar plexus energy and to instigate, to put into action the innovative ideas you have for the collective that are Aquarian in nature. Then in the second half of the month, we're going to go into what my guides kept showing me was circles, literally circles of people. And they're showing it to me as like a feminine energy, which is a really nice relief and use of this really yang energy that's coming in, this fire energy. So sometimes when the yang energy of the solar plexus comes in, it feels good in our culture where we have to-do lists and we like to get things done. And we actually do get a lot of things checked off our list, but we begin to feel isolated, independent, and maybe even a little bit lonely. Like we lose the purpose of it because we're not working with our collective tribe. So the second half of the month, they're showing me, is really about connecting with others. It gets more fun, more playful, more frolicky. You will have learned by that point, hopefully, how to keep navigating this solar plexus energy moving through your system. You will have begun to instigate and little innovative things that are coming to you that can benefit the collective, that are truly from you, because the ideas you're going to get are going to be innovative from you, from your unique perspective, which is so cool. So are you willing to bring those gifts forward? And it's not in a big way. I'm just talking like take little steps. If you have a big project you're about to launch, fantastic. But you don't need to. These can be little actionable steps. And as you move toward the second half of the month, it's going to be like, just get back with your circle. Check in. Ooh, was I getting a little too independent in the first half of the month? Come back to your circle of friends. Come back to your tribe. Come back to your family. Come back to the people that inspire you about those innovative Aquarian ideas that you have. That's really important. So be careful you don't just go to a tribe that shuts down those ideas. They're telling me to really underline that right now. Go to a tribe, even if you have to go connect with a new tribe, doesn't mean you get rid of old tribes, it just means you connect with a new tribe that can allow you to really voice and act on your innovative Aquarian ideas. On February the 19th, at almost 7 a.m. Pacific, 6:53 Pacific, we have the full moon in Virgo. And it's a 0-degree situation. I'm not going to put myself out as being a professional astrologer, but I do want you to know that this moon is symbolic of what's happening a lot in the first part of this year, and it's happening a lot in this month, and that is there's this sense of beginnings and endings, like completions, like things are more extreme. They're asking for your attention. It's not just this smooth middle ground like this, but rather the higher ups and downs, and a universe that's asking you to say, are you done with this? Am I done with this? Asking yourself, am I done with this? So what kind of, particularly I'm being shown right now, relationship dynamics. What kind of relationship dynamics and what kind of beliefs in yourself and in your own voice and message you have to offer? What kind of beliefs and patterns do you have in those two areas in particular, relationship and your relationship to yourself and your own voice and what you put out in the world? In those two areas, where can you put some stuff to bed? Where is it not effective for you right now? Are you drawing relationships that aren't supportive? If so, it's time to literally have boundaries. And what they're showing me is really cool. It's like to increase the possibilities, which is a good time to do this with all this beautiful Aquarian new moon energy that's coming in the beginning of February. Your possibilities are exponential. They're huge right now. I mean, coming into the beginning of February. So it's a really good time to use the openness toward your future and toward your possibilities and get more closed. Get this clearly, because again, my guides know, my tribe know that many of us are very empathic, and so closure and boundaries aren't always the strong point. So they're saying in order to truly open to these new possibilities, you're going to need to probably close some doors. Now, if you don't have any real trauma dysfunction in your past, and who doesn't, then maybe that doesn't apply. But most of us, we're really going to have to look at a door or two that needs to be closed. So people that treat me this way, and especially if you take those two things together, they're actually taking them right now and they're showing me to put them in overlap them like two circles that overlap, and there's literally more overlap than there is independence. So this means that actually the one area that they really want you to look at for relationship is the area of how you are supported by in your relationships, whether it's a one-on-one, your family, your whatever it is, a bigger group, a professional group, whatever tribes and groups that you meet with, and whatever one-on-one ties you have. Is it helping you? Is the relationships helping you to get your message out, be your true self, be innovative, and open possibilities for yourself and also for the world by bringing your gifts? So to put those two things together, and don't be surprised if you just get a real strong instinct to let go of certain relationships or to put really clear boundaries and see if the people in those relationships will adhere with you or they're going to choose to drop out. Remember, and that's not a place where we take it personally. This is about sometimes we grow and we go to new places and the place we're at isn't helping us. It just isn't helping. So it's no more personal than doors. Think of doors, opening and closing. You want to open a really big door, and actually they're showing me, it's not just doors, it's a bunch of windows. Like this will open a lot of possibilities, but you have to close, and they're showing me it's behind you. So that feels like past, family, something you've had going for a while, so it won't be something pretty new. You will probably have to close a door or two on that side in the past, in what's been, in order to open all the windows and doors in front of you. Let's see what else. So the three main things I just want to point out again are, we've got strong solar plexus energy, strong action energy. You want to really learn to, you don't have to cultivate it, it's moving through. You have to manage it. Used to be we had to cultivate solar plexus energy. We had to do sit-ups and shh, 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 and do martial arts and pull it in. It's intense this year on the planet. You can see even the energy with which I am doing this video is a strong solar plexus infusion energy. You feel that? I'm not having to work hard. I'm actually right now trying to keep it down a little, but the universe is so strong with this energy right now that it's just telling me to move forward and go, go, go. It's just giving me the gateway to do that. So you don't have to cultivate unless you're a really, really low energy person. really low. For the most part, none of us need to cultivate the solar plexus energy, the get up and go, the drive right now. We need to direct it, make decisions about it, move it around, like go here and then course correct if you need to, but not have inertia. We need to direct it. We need to manage it. We need to be aware of it socially, because it can, again, it is the independent chakra, so it does get agitated or angry or irritated. So you want it to stay in this positive forward motion energy without it turning into the get out of my way energy. You get that, the get out of my way. Not that energy, because as you know, we're all in this together. We literally are. The divine is orchestrating all of us in beautiful harmony. So when we try to take it upon ourselves to say, I'm moving forward, get out of my way, we actually don't benefit us or others. So manage the solar plexus energy, and also in the way you eat, and also the exercises and the way you let off some of the steam, if you need to, right? Martial arts and all that stuff. And work with the innovative energy of the Aquarian new moon, and what is it that you, because this is important, we need a lot of change on this planet. It's ripe, it's ready to come in. So you do your part and open up to this Aquarian energy that starts big time on the 4th of February, and bring your gifts in. And then finally, near the end of the month, get more communal, more relationship oriented, open up to new possible relationships, but also be willing, my dear friend, to close down, to really look. And the question is this relationship supportive of me? Is this group supportive of me? I'm having trouble talking today. Is this group supportive of me? Is this other person supportive of me? And then more specifically, do I feel like I can bring my innovative gifts? Is my quirky side, my innovative side, the part of me that's out on the edge, is that part welcome? That's a really important question. And if it isn't, I invite you to set boundaries or even close some doors in some relationships of that type. Not with any kind of judgment or anything, just simply to love yourself better and to move forward more on your own path. I think that's it, guys. That's a lot. We do have the auspicious energy. It is auspicious. One of the people I like to read astrologically believes that the new moon and the full moon on the 4th and the 19th of February are actually two, very rare, because there's two auspicious, really lucky, really positive for the planet kind of moons right next to each other. And this person also believes that it's not a person, it's actually a site, but so it's probably a group of astrologers. They're also saying that this is some of the most auspicious moon energy in like at least a year. So I hope you're going to use it, and I hope you're also going to use the symbols that my guides gave us. We're going to want to circle in the second half of the month, and it's with people that support us, that we want to be with, and some may be new. We want to make sure we're not in neutral in the car. If you're in neutral, my friend, you can even put it, you can like let your foot off the gas a little, but like you can take it all the way off the gas and put it in gear, and then you can go much more slow forward if you want to make sure you're safe, right? But do make sure it's in gear, because neutral is just going to rev you, and that's going to add to any kind of that irritation energy, that energy that feels like I should be moving forward, I should be, right? And we don't need or want that. The solar plexus energy is an action energy, and it's only really valuable when we're using it for something. And the more that something can be unique to us and can be our true purpose and can actually be a gift to humanity, the more purpose that fiery energy has. So why not take something like fiery energy, even if you're afraid of it? Okay, something that sometimes can be anger, sometimes can be agitation, sometimes can be get out of my way, and turn it into the gift that it can be in February. That's my challenge for you, along with opening to your innovative Aquarian ideas and along with finding more and more of your true tribe. So that's a lot. I hope that you have a wonderful month and that you enjoy the experience of it and watching yourself and working with yourself, and most of all, loving yourself. Because I want to remind you, no change happens until we first utterly accept who we are now. So a lot of people have this erroneous belief that I can change something if I make how things are now wrong. And that is not the case at all. You can only change things from your present point of power, your present point of self, and that's where you are now. So can you love yourself and others just as you are right now, right where you are, and at the same time play with February in the ways that I've asked you to play with it, to see where it will go, what shifts will happen out of this loving vision of what's possible and this acceptance of who you already are. You're unfolding, as I've said many times. You're a process, you're a verb, you're not a noun. You are unfolding. So I wish for you this February to have an unfolding that allows you to feel more and more expansive, more grounded, and more moving forward for the good of yourself and for the good of all. Much love and many blessings.